I'm Shfiq Qureshi. My today's topic is skimming and scanning, which is a profound sort of a task, and this is extremely important in almost all sorts of communications. And particularly, I just talk about the IELTS and PTE test. In IELTS, for example, if I talk about reading and listening, unless you thoroughly understand or precisely understand how to pass through the process of skimming and scanning, you would not be in a position to do the tasks successfully because your chief purpose is to get the maximum band. Same is the case with the PTE test. In Pearson test of English that you have to pass through, you have to go for speaking, you go for writing, reading, and listening in almost all the tasks, with the exception of very few where you have to be fully capable to go for to do skimming and scanning. If you can't do it, so you will utterly lose a lot of bands or the marks or the scores. In many other videos, I discuss these topics in detail, but I still feel that there are things to tell you just to make you easier, or just to make you understand these tasks so you can easily do different tasks in IELTS and PT tests. So you see that in skimming or scanning, for example, you come across a written text. The text could be written, it could be oral. If somebody is speaking before you, this is the oral task, this is the oral text. And if somebody is writing something to you and you are reading something, so this is called written text. So in your tests, you frequently come across the written or oral text, and you can't answer the questions properly unless you thoroughly understand. You practically can accomplish these two tasks, which is called skimming and scanning. You understand the text is the combination of, or the harmonious blend of different things. Your text, be it oral or written, is the harmonious blend of different things. Most of the time, rather 100% of the time, 100%, in the oral as well as the written text, the topic is introduced in the very outset, in the very beginning of the text. I don't have to go for the next paragraph. Go for the next sentence. In the first sentence, the topic will be introduced to me. And if somebody is speaking before me, that is, it is the oral text, then the speaker would introduce what he or she is talking about, that is the topic of the text, in the very beginning of his, or in the very outset of his oral communication. Once I understand what is the topic of the text, so everything would become quite easy for me. Now I would know precisely that what to skim and what to scan. You see that this text is the harmonious blend of different things. For example, the text having three different sections. First is called introduction, second called the main body, and the third one is called the conclusion. So the main body is the part of the text where the speaker gives the detail about the things which he has or she has already introduced in the introduction, in the introductory part of the text. So now, after understanding what is my topic, it would become extremely or thoroughly easy for me that what I have to concentrate upon and which are the things I have to bypass or I don't have to focus upon. So this text is I already told you that it's a harmonious blend of different elements. There are the relevant parts or relevant descriptions or relevant things. Which things are relevant? The relevant things are those which are exactly according to the topic, which is introduced in the beginning of the text. This is called the relevant. All the things which are pertaining to the introductory part, for example, the topic is how the whales or the huge fishes sustain their life in the deep water of the sea. This would be introduced in the beginning. Now I understand that I have to focus upon, or for me, relevant part is that one that is exactly according to or focused upon the whales or the big fishes, food deep into the sea water. And if, for example, the speakers start talking about some other things, so there could be the irrelevant material in the same text, because I tell you the text is the combination of different elements. For example, there is relevant material which is exactly according to the topic, and there could be irrelevant material which has got nothing to do with the topic of the text. For example, if we talk about the water and there is something which is absolutely there, for example, he start talking about the education system or the life of the birds, so this is absolutely irrelevant. And then there could be contradictory things which are discussed in the course of the text. For example, if you ask me to say something about the winter season, if I compare winter with the summer season, so my topic which you have assigned to me, that is pertaining to the winter season. And if I start talking about comparing it with the summer season, although it could be good in order to make the point clear, but still this is a contradictory thing. I don't have to focus upon these things. I don't have to concentrate upon it. I'll skim it. I'll skim the irrelevant part. I'll skim the contradictory part. For example, I may talk about in the winter season, I may talk about the vegetables, fruits, or the liquids which are inevitable part of the winter season. But on the other hand, if for example I talk about the mangoes, so this is not part of the winter season, this is related to the summer season. So this would become irrelevant. So I have to remain relevant. So I'll bypass, I'll skip, I'll skim all those elements which are not exactly according to the topic. I want relevant material. And for example, in order to talk about the relevant things, I start quoting different examples which are not quite necessary to quote. So that again would become unnecessary part of the text. I just have to focus upon the necessary part of the text, which are exactly according to the topic. All other things, irrelevant things, contradictory things, or unnecessary things, even those unnecessary things are related to the topic, exact topic. Again, I'll not concentrate upon them. I'll skim through all these elements. So once I skim through all these elements, I'll just concentrate or focus, or I'll just scan the relevant part of the text, exactly relevant part of the text. and that relevant part of the text which is left over, which I have to concentrate upon, which I have scanned. This is called the theme of the text. This is called theme of the text. And this is actually the actual message. This is called background. This is called context of the text. Background of the text. So this is actually the purpose of going through skimming and scanning, or talking, or practically doing skimming and scanning. Once I have successfully accomplished skimming and scanning, everything would become absolutely easy for me. Whichever the question I have to answer, whichever the task I have to do, that would become absolutely easy for me if I have properly done. No, even if I don't understand the meaning of many of the words, I don't have to go for the meaning. I simply have to understand the theme of the text without being understanding the meanings of most of the words. I can still understand the meaning of the text. If I don't understand, I can still understand the theme of the text, even I don't understand the meaning of many of the words. Even there are the blanks in the course of the text, I can still understand. So the actual thing is to understand the theme of the text, which would make me fully capable to answer any type of question, be it a reading task, be it a listening task in IELTS, and in many tasks of PTE test.